welcome back to the Apex Online Racing Hype Energy F1 2018 Leagues. We're back after the Christmas and New Year break. I hope you all had a nice restful period and you've recovered from eating way too much food. I think I just about have. Luke and Alex here bringing you action once again from PlayStation 4 F4 tier with round 11 of the German Grand Prix. And did you have a good Christmas, Alex?
Yeah, definitely had a great Christmas. Actually got myself a chair, well, gaming chair, so I can finally relax whilst commentating and racing. But also a great New Year as well. Have been quite entertained by the Christmas Cup, which I've been watching throughout the break, which was quite entertaining as well.
Yeah, it was a 3-week break from the main series, but quite a few of the drivers used the Christmas Cup to try and keep themselves sharp. Seeing as it's been 3 weeks, we'll give you a quick recap of what happened at Silverstone in the last round, and it was a wet and wild day for the British Grand Prix. Heavy rain throughout the race made it very interesting. Slimbo, who we are looking at now, was leading for most of the race before the tyres just gave up. He suffered a puncture and crashed out of the race with a couple of laps to go. A puncture also scuppered Pedro's chances of winning in the Red Bull. He was able to hang on to second place though, and Vicstar ended up taking the win. Pedro, as I mentioned, hanging on to second, and Schumacher got his first podium of the season in third. So what that did for the championship was give Vicstar a slender 2-point lead over Jompalainen. Geordie, who missed the British round, is now just 3 points off the lead, with Slimbo and Pedro 70 points further back. So if either of them two want to have any chance of winning the championship, these next few races, they're going to need to be right up at the front. Some other interesting news to bring you: because of an accident at the Austrian Grand Prix qualifying involving Geordie and Vicstar, the American in the Haas will not be taking part in this qualifying session. He has a qualifying ban, so he'll be starting from the back of the grid. You'd expect him to go for quite a low downforce strategy then, Alex, to try and make it as easy as possible to overtake.
Well, he might have a bit of advantage because his tyres won't be, well, at the start of the race, his tyres won't be worn out. And also, he's going to have maybe less stops depending on his strategy, and also, you know, how everything kind of plans out in the race itself, in case if there's rain or not rain. And I think he's going to be fine in the race, but it just depends how he starts off in the grid.
Yeah, now one of the features of the season has been the close racing, and that's going to be no exception by today. Randy Thompson and Slimbo with identical lap times at the front of the field so far. 1:11.404 for both of them. Only Kiesa and Vicstar, the other two drivers, currently have set a lap time. Ibrahim, one of the two new runners we have here today, alongside CRT Senna, he's been disqualified from the session, so he'll be starting from the back of the grid in the second Force India. Go on board with Jompalainen, second in the championship at the moment. Didn't have a fantastic race in Britain, only managed to finish in 6th position. He'll be well up for this championship battle though. He's generally been consistent throughout the season, and him and Hasnain have helped Williams take the lead in the Constructors' Championship. They are currently 13 points ahead of Ferrari. So we'll just watch Jompalainen finish his lap and see what he can do for a first run in this session. Powers out at the final corner. DRS activated. 1:13.3 so far, but he is on the medium tyres. That is the hardest of the 3 tyres available for this weekend, the other 2 being the soft tyre and the fastest of all 3 available, the ultra softs. We'll have a look now at Joe Breezy, who's on his outlap in the Sauber. Outside the top three, who have you been most impressed with, would you say, so far this season?
I'm stuck. I'm kind of stuck. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go for Jompalainen, I think, because I know it's on an equal performance car, right? But doing that what he's doing in a Williams car is just quite impressive.
Yeah, he has generally been very consistent throughout his performances in qualifying in the race, as well as him being impressed. I've been impressed by Hasnain's performances since he joined the series. He joined halfway through. He's managed to get points in every single race so far. And like I said, that has helped Williams take a Constructors' Championship lead, and how they would dearly love to be anywhere near this situation in real life next season after a torrid 2018 season. Speaking of Hasnain, we'll take you round on board on his first qualifying lap of this Nürburgring circuit. 2.859 miles, a lot shorter than the old 4+ mile beast that was last used in 2001. Heavy braking into turn 2, locks up the right front, but that shouldn't affect him onto the long, sweeping, pretty much a straight. DRS activated. Expect to see a lot of slipstreaming down here into the race, with a perfect opportunity for overtaking coming into the very tight first gear hairpin. Does well to get round there without locking a wheel. Hipari moving well out of the way. Into the infield section, we saw Bottas and Hamilton have a battle through here. This year smoothly does it through there. Now into the stadium. One of the few bits remaining from the old track. Coming up to the corner where Sebastian Vettel famously lost it, and where his championship started going oh so wrong in the wet this year. Does well through there. A slight lock-up shouldn't affect him too much. Final 2 corners, all about keeping your momentum up through here. Getting a good exit. DRS activated again. And he comes across the line in a 1:12.824. 5th place at the moment, but the fastest of those on the medium tyre. Quick run through the order then, with just under 10 minutes to go, and it's Randy Thompson, provisional pole position so far. Slembo in second, Kieser third. Aaron, Hasnain, Jompalainen, Vikstad and Schnitzel have all set a lap time. The other 10 drivers are leaving it quite late in this session to make their first attempts. And I'm surprised more of them haven't tried setting a lap, to be fair. I wouldn't want to leave it until the last minute, because it can get quite busy out there.
Yeah, with all these drivers in this league, 18 drivers. I think we have 2 more, but I don't think they're here. But it's gonna be quite busy when they all go out at once. It's gonna be very difficult on how they kind of start their flying lap, because if they're going to be faster than them, what are they going to do? What's going to be their schedule? Are they going to overtake them in the corner? Or are they going to kind of risk their time and overtake them, like, or slow down or something? Because it's from my kind of perspective from league racing, it's quite difficult on trying to make the perfect time, especially going faster than the car ahead of you.
Yeah, it is very easy to get distracted by the car in front, I feel, during a qualifying session. You're never quite sure if they're going to move out the way where you expect them to, if there's going to be any yellow flags as well, and could slow you down a lot. Weather shouldn't be a fact during the session. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the format of these AOR races, it's an 18-minute qualifying session, just straight fastest lap time on pole position, no different sessions, and then a half distance race, so that means 34 laps this time out in Hockenheim. As always, comments are welcome. You can use the hashtag on Twitter, AOR hype, or comment on the stream. How do you guys think Geordie will do? We've seen him fight back from the rear once before. In France, he was involved in an incident on lap 1 and managed to get back onto the podium. I'm sure he'll be looking for something similar today. We'll go on board now with the only driver to score points in every race this season. GP1 Schumacher. He got his first podium last time out in Silverstone, and that's impressive in itself, Alex, managing to get points in every race with all the different things that can go on.
Yeah, it's quite impressive to get points in every single race that's been happening so far in the AOR F4 season. In the first F 2018 season as well. And it's hope this driver does well, and hope he can get more points after in this race and all the other races that are upcoming.
Yeah, his consistency so far has got him up to 6th in the championship. He's on 71 points, and his first qualifying time in this session, 1 minute 12.414 on the soft tyres, good enough for 7th position.
It's a perfect place for him. I think if he just keeps his consistency with his timings and pace, I think he's gonna maybe get more points tonight.
Yeah, he always seems to recover. He was outside the points in the latter stages of the British Grand Prix, but in the Austrian Grand Prix, should I say, a couple of races ago, but penalties and being on the faster tyres towards the end of the race helped him. Jon Palainen's just gone up to 7th place on the soft tyres. Geordie, as we've already mentioned, won't be setting a time because of his qualifying ban, and Vic Star's in 13th, so not really many headline lap times by the championship contenders so far. Do you think they're playing the long game, choosing the harder tyres for what they hope to be the better strategy in the race? Because we've seen one stops generally tends to be the way to go this season.
What I think is that since it's Germany, and I think they've been looking at the weather, you know, how the weather's going to be on race day, because we have no idea what the weather's happening, because we don't have the monitors or the things on screen. But I think they're trying to play it safe with their ultra soft tyres, maybe, and maybe hoping with those medium tyres at the start of the race, if it's dry or not, maybe take those and try and make a one-stop race, which could be possible if they just use the medium tyres. But just according to the fitted tyres, Vicstar is now on apparently soft tyres, but is in the pit still. And hopefully you might do a lap on those soon.
Yeah, we'll go through some of the expected strategies on the formation lap, but we're expecting if you're starting on the ultra soft, it will probably be a 2-stop strategy. If you're starting on the soft and the mediums, you'll be able to do 1 stop, changing to the either to the medium or the soft, of course, depending on which tyre you have started on. So 4 minutes remaining of the qualifying session. Randy Thompson still has provisional pole position, Hipari 2nd, Slimbo 3rd, Kiza and Professional rounding out the top 5. Going on board with Pedro, cruelly robbed of a win in Silverstone. Tried to make the wet tyres last all the way to the end of that race, couldn't quite do it, wore out towards the end, and then a puncture with a few corners to the go. He did cross the line in 3rd position, but managed to get a penalty removed after the race via the stewards, and that pushed him back into 2nd place. Do you think too far back to have a major chance of winning the title? 73 points is a lot to ask for.
Well, with the others, the top 3 contenders on 3 digits, according to the standings I have, which you of course sent me, he could have a chance, but it kind of depends how his performance goes for the rest of the season, especially with Slimbo as well, because he also has the same points as Pedro, and just it kind of depends that. Well, as you can see at the moment in the qualifying, Slimbo has the upper hand on the Ultra Softs with 3rd place with a time of 1:11.4. But Pedro is on the soft tyres with a 1:12.6, but they both kind of have a chance at the moment. But it kind of depends how the race goes.
Yeah, some of the comments in the chat, someone here declaring their support for Jompalainen, saying they'll be disappointed if he doesn't win. 7th on the grid, on the better race tyre, he's definitely got a chance. He will have to start on those soft tyres. All of the top 10 have to start on the tyres they have set their best laps on, as Alex mentioned earlier. That's perhaps where Geordie has a slight advantage as Pedro runs wide at the end of his lap. He was looking good on the soft tyres there, but that has gone slightly faster at 1:12.5, but it's not enough to improve his position, as Schumacher has retired from the session, so he will not be improving any more than 8th place. You'd expect all the drivers to be building up or on their final laps right now, as we look at Slimbo, winner, first time out in Australia, but it's not all gone to plan since then. He tends to do well in qualifying, and then through bad luck or other drivers on better strategies moving up through the field, he seems to fall back slightly in the race. He'll be hoping to turn that around this time out.
Looking at Slimbo, apparently he's on 8th gear.
He's just building up, I feel, as Harvey sets the fastest lap time. First driver into the 1 minute 10s. 3/10 faster than Randy Thompson. So they'll all be getting everything they can out of the cars now. It's right on board with Slimbo.
He has only got one shot to make this happen, to make a pole, or maybe get 2nd place, or to improve his time. So all the others won't, have much chance of basically overtaking him. But he's actually doing quite well at the moment, because if he wouldn't be doing quite well now, he would be retiring right now, as all the other drivers are doing. But Limbo takes that corner quite well, going into this one. Yeah, I think he might improve his time. He's on ultra soft tyres, could be on new tyres. Yeah, he is on new tyres. Let's see, he's on new tyres now, so he has an advantage to make a better time, but it depends on this last corner here. Goes off a bit. Last corner. Finishing straight. Improves it with a 1:10.987. Making him 2nd place, which I think he's gonna like to start in. But like we said earlier, he might have to make a 2-stop strategy, as he's been on the ultra softs, as all the soft tyres and medium tyre lot might have 1 stop, as that is kind of recommended sometimes in races like these, especially in Germany.
Yeah, strategy is going to be key, but that is it for the qualifying session here for the German Grand Prix. Just waiting for the final results to come up, but Hipari and Slimbo will take the front row for this 34-lap race. Jompalainen improving towards the end on the ultra soft tyres in 3rd place. Randy Thompson, good qualifying for him in 4th. Kieser in 5th. We'll go looking further down the order. Big Star in 12th place on the soft tyres in that session, but he will have free choice of tyres for the race. And Joaquin Geordie in 16th place. One of 4 drivers not to set a time during that session. What can he do from the back of the grid? Interesting how many drivers chose to ignore the faster qualifying tyre there. Clearly learning the lesson from earlier races. That will be great news for everyone. Bright sunshine. We've had 3 consecutive race weekends affected by weather by wet weather, should I say, and it will be a nice relief for the drivers that it'll be a straightforward, dry race. By the looks of things, of course, they can see the strategy, they can see the forecast, as Alex has mentioned earlier. Who would you say is favourite for the race at this point in time, knowing what we know throughout the season and seeing what they've all gone for in qualifying?
I think Slimbo's gonna be my favourite for tonight. He's been doing quite well in the qualifying tonight, and he's been doing well in the other qualies that I've seen as well. And starting second place, I think he has a chance for maybe a podium, or if lucky, a win.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Jon Palainen does, because I know he's been very good throughout the season at keeping his tyres in a good condition. We said we'd go through the strategies in more detail at the start of the race, so we expect all the ultra soft runners to pit round about lap 4 to 6, moving on to the soft tyres, and then later on around lap 18 to 20 perhaps going back onto another new set of softs to the end. Possible one-stop strategies, if you're starting on the softs, round about laps 9 to 14 onto the mediums, round about lap 20 if you're starting on the mediums onto the softs. If you're on the ultras and you're trying to get onto a one-stop strategy, you're going to have to go onto the mediums, and you're going to have to stretch them ultras until at least lap 6 or 7, I feel, to have any chance of making it to the end of the race without getting a puncture. See Geordie at the back. What's he be thinking? We'll have a look at all the tyres that everyone has elected to start the race on. As we mentioned, all those on the top 10 on those that they qualified, so we've got the top 6 on the ultra softs. Everyone else has elected for the soft tyres, apart from Breezy and Schnitzel, the two Saubers electing to start on the medium. So they could cause quite a bit of problems for those on fresher rubber if they're not able to get past right away at the start of this race, well, towards the middle period of this race.
Going back to what you said about Jock and Geordie, what's going to think about? I think what he's thinking about now is, let's just not crash into the slow pokes in front of me.
Yeah.
And
Quite easily go wrong.
Try not to crash into any Maldonados out there.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait long to see what's going to happen. The lights are all lit for the Hockenheim race here, and we are racing. It's a fairly good start from everyone. Jon Palainen's flown away. He's got around Slimbo, and that's Randy Thompson getting involved with Slimbo as well. It's been a nightmare start for the Force India, and Hapari's been allowed to get away well, but everyone seems to be cleanly through the first corner at least. So Hapari's leading, Jon Palainen second, Randy Thompson third at the moment. Although the McLaren is slipstreaming here, we expected this is going to the outside of the Williams into the hairpin. Will he be able to make it stick at this early stage? He's trying to do it all the way around the outside, but not able to do so. I think he's ran wide there, but he's going to have the outside for this next turn, but it's a fast sweeper that will give him the inside next to the Mercedes stand, and he's got his way through. We saw Slimbo having a go on Keyser as well. They're still side by side. Great clean running so far here on lap 1. Still the Toro Rosso and Force India, nothing to separate them, and Evans cheekily saw the gap there. He's managed to fire his way past the Force India as well. Slimbo having to fight back and drifting slightly. That's going to give...
that's contact there.
Yeah.
Between Slimbo there. He's gone down so many places from that. That's going to be something that the stewards might want to see after this race.
But out in front at the end of lap 1, it's Hipari, Randy Thompson, Jon Palainen third, Keyser, Evan, Pedro, Schumacher, Slimbo, disappointed for him, down in 8th, Senna, Professional, Hasdane, Undefined, Geordie already made his way past Vicstar, he's down to 13th, Kanal Yander, Stixel, Ibrahim, and Breezy has pitted, so the Sauber must have been involved in some contact that we didn't see at the end of that lap. But it's been a fantastic start from Habari. He's nearly 2 seconds clear already. He will be outside of DRS range then. Can free zones on this track, and you can only use it at the end of the second lap and when you are within 1 second of the car in front.
Looking at the back, we've got the Force India Ibrahim behind Schnitzel, going a bit wide in that corner on my screen. I don't know if he's on one of the other screens, but he's going behind Schnitzel. There's a very, very long train from Kiza to Ibrahim, I think. No, I'm wrong. It's from Aaron to Ibrahim, right at the back. There's lots of drivers, maybe around a second or less behind than the other driver, which we could see a lot of overtakes happening soon.
Yeah, this could be a
very big battle between Jordy and Vicstar.
Yeah, see Vicstar now. He's in the meat in a Haas sandwich. He's got the DRS wide open, but so has everyone around him, so that pretty much negates any advantage he would have. See Jordy to quickly look into the outside of Undefined. Has he been able to make it
what
stick?
A move.
Great move.
That's an absolutely great move, especially in that corner.
Very brave to do it all around on side. Just shows the great trust they have. Jordy just lock it up. He's got Professional in front of him. The Professional runs wide. Is that going to give Jordy a slight chance coming into the stadium section? He's got the inside, but not enough of a braking zone to really take advantage of Professional's mistakes. So Jordy still just outside the points. Out in front then, it's still Hapari as he begins lap 4. Randy Thompson second, Jompalainen and Kiesa behind, and then Evan creating quite a train of drivers behind him, although Professional has dropped back slightly from Pedro now.
Yeah, dropping Jordan, I think he's going to take another chance Professional soon, maybe do another nice move like what he did back at that head last lap. But he's got DRS, he's got a huge advantage. He's going to make an eating move. Oh, that's one of those blindfold moves that you can do there. And Jock Jordan just with his hairpin car locks up a bit, looking from the point of view of Professional. Oh, and Professional gets a bit of contact there between the Ferrari and the Toro Rosso, but no harm much done. But we do have Vicstar now in the mix still between the Ferrari and the Toro Rosso, who are ahead of him.
Yeah, Vicstar came very close to getting involved in that. He doesn't want to get caught up in any incidents. He tries to fight his way up the field. Are coming towards the end of lap 4, so expect the next couple of laps those Ultrasoft runners to come diving into the pit lane, and there's one already. Professionals bailed on his Ultrasoft tyres, and Jordy showing the pace he's got at this early stage. Fastest lap, and he's already onto the back of Senna.
And Senna is on the back of Slimbo Dude. This is actually quite close for Senna, and Senna just makes a simple move over Slimbo. This is not Slimbo Dude's race. He's gone down 8 places according to the position change, and Jock and Jordy has shot up in the first 4 or 5 laps. It's gone up, if I'm correct, it's Jock and Jordy, there he is. He's gone up 8 places. And seeing from his start, because I was on his car when the 5 red lights went out, he had a lightning start. He's walked past all the drivers and managed to not make contact with any drivers at all.
Yeah, out of the soft tyre runners, he's the 4th highest out of them, so it's already looking good for Jordy, and perhaps that is why Jompalainen has decided now is time to get a move on as Hipari pits. So I was just about to say Jompalainen was catching up to Hipari, but that doesn't matter anymore because the Finn takes, well, they're both Finns, so the Williams takes the lead from the Mercedes. Randy Thompson in 2nd, Evan 3rd, but we've seen him have a penalty for multiple warnings already. Kiesa and Slimbo also coming into the pits. So that puts Jordy up to 6th position, and it's pretty much gone exactly how he would have wanted at the start of this race. Just behind we see Aaron alongside the McLaren of Randy Thompson. Not much he can do there, and that's Pedro trying to get past as well. Great battle going on.
Positive. Oh, you go first.
Just about to say, great battle going on for second place at the moment, but Aaron just about holding on.
And that's what I was about to say is, I'm actually quite glad to see that all 18 drivers are still racing, despite Breezy having a pit stop on the first lap, maybe after some propane damage, maybe just tapping someone. Everyone is actually doing quite fine. I hope that Breezy comes back into the race. He's already 8 seconds behind professional, but he'll catch up, I think. Also, we've got Jock and Geordie going up 11 places, which is, well, an absolutely ridiculous amount of places going up. And we also have another Haas driver going up in ridiculous amount of places, which is Canaleander, who's going to 8 places, if I can see. Yeah, 8 places.
Yeah,
which is, both Haas drivers are having a good race tonight.
Yeah, fantastic, as well Buxton would probably say, with all his Haas puns that he's made throughout the season. So Jon Palainen still out in front. He's managed to get 7 laps, at least, out of these Ultrasoft tyres. Maybe if he had 7 tyres on him, he'd be able to go even faster. But he's out in front at the moment, 1.5 seconds ahead of the battle for second between Evan and Pedro. Schumacher, we said he's always up there in 4th at the moment. And as Alex has mentioned, Geordie's fantastic start to the race has got him up to 5th position at the moment as Jon Palainen pits. So the race leader, unsurprisingly, comes into the pits. What will he be able to do? Where will he come out? Going for the soft tyres, so 2-stop strategy. Well, got a bit of a mix up there. Soft showing on the screen, but mediums showing on the information, so hopefully that will correct himself. But he comes out in 13th place at the moment, still most of the field to pit, however.
I think if I'm correct, that's all of the all the drivers from Quali who's been on Ultrasofts. I think on, because I don't see any purples on my screen on the tyre section. Which, and most of them who are ahead have laps on either mediums or soft tyres, which they won't change until maybe, I don't know, about 15 laps or 14, 13 laps, depending how long they can race on those old tyres, and
yeah,
if they don't wear off or flat.
There's a bit of a train beginning to form behind Aaron again. Pedro all over the back here, he's been for a bit, but Schumacher and Geordie have been able to catch right up to the back of the Renault now, so we expect to see a lot of action over the next few laps. As Alex has just mentioned, all Ultrasoft runners have pitted for the softs. We're expecting at least 10 laps from everyone as Pedro in the slipstream of Aaron. It's hard to see how the Renault will be able to do anything, and Pedro has got the outside line. Aaron's still there in the inside though, holding on, slight bit of contact forces Pedro wide, and Aaron's done enough to hold his place in the background as well. Jordan not able to get past Schumacher just yet. Pedro goes for a dive down the inside.
Oh, for the inside. Oh, he... Oh, I didn't know what was going on then. I was looking at the view of Pedro, I was like, wait, are they side by side or who's ahead of who?
The second lap in a row they've been side by side through there, but once again, Aaron comes out ahead just over a second, separating all these, and Senna on his debut this season, he's managing to catch up to the back now of this train. As they all stay, oh no, Geordie pits actually, so Geordie's pushed hard at the start of this race and perhaps he's paying for that. He has pitted. Expect him to go on to the mediums and then go to the end on these. So it's now Aaron, Pedro, Schumacher, Senna, and undefined for top 5. Hipari using
his... out.
There's
Caliander's out. He has damage.
So Cano Yanda is out in front. Pedro, he's cut across Evan there. He's making sure that he's in control of the inside line. Schumacher nearly goes into the back of Evan as well, so that's a change for the lead. Pedro in the lead of this race, but as you mentioned, Alex, Cano Yanda out of the race. Now, I didn't oh, contact!
Oh
Evan
my goodness me!
Slammed it into the back of Pedro.
Oh my god! Soaring that in the view of Aaron, that was absolutely shocking. I think that was Schumacher that caused that incident. Must have broke either late or I don't know if it's either Pedro braking too early or Schumacher braking too late. That was a huge contact between those two drivers, and I think I don't think Schumacher has any front wing damage. Oh wait, but Aaron.
It was Evan. It was Evan who was involved. Yeah. So
yeah,
Evan having to pay. It was probably coming up to his tyre stop anyway. So Senna follows it in, and that's dropped Pedro all the way down to 4th place. So now it's Schumacher who takes the lead in the Mercedes. He's got a 4-second lead now. I think that incident slowed quite a few others down. From where I was, it looked as though Evan just, don't know whether it was, as you said, did Pedro brake early as his tyres were wearing out, or did Evan just misjudge his braking and go into the back of him? Expect to see that one go to the stewards, because I can't imagine Pedro's too happy about what just happened to him there.
Very, very unfortunate. Now gone down to 5th place. Still needs to make a pit stop, but luckily I don't think he has too bad of damage. I think he's just spun. But seeing his performance at the moment, I think he's doing just fine. He might have a tiny bit of front wing damage on the right hand side. Just can't really see it that well, but looks kind of damaged on my screen. I don't know, but he has already caught up with Hasnane, and hope he does make a move soon. But if not, he'll be getting some pits, maybe getting some medium tyres, and then he'll be back on track.
Yeah, he's staying out there for another lap. Hipari, one of the first of the big names to pit, he's in 6th. He's now just 10 seconds off the lead. Schnicksel's done a good job so far. He's just behind the Mercedes, as you can see. He's on the medium tyres in 7th at the moment. But a battle that could get really interesting and will change too soon. Jon Palainen and Jordi, there's only a second separating the two out on track. I say that Schnicksel nearly runs it into the back of Hipari there.
Bit of contact from Jon Palainen and Kieser. Sorry to interrupt, but I just saw a bit of contact between Jon Palainen and Kieser. I don't think there's been any damage happening between those two cars. There was a bit of wheel spinning from Kieser's Toro Rosso car. Maybe losing slight control, but he did manage to gain control back. But I think they're all still racing.
Yeah, all 17 out of the 18 cars still around. It was Cano Yanda, the only retirement so far. I think these will be hoping that Ibrahim gets out of the way soon. His soft tyres will beginning to get worn, and indeed so Ibrahim pits, and that releases Kieser, Jon Palainen and Jordi, who will be licking his lips at the prospect of getting one over on his championship rivals very shortly. Remember, Jordi started very near to the back of the grid. It was 16th place after a qualifying run, while Jon Palainen was up in 3rd. Kieser's pretty much a sitting duck here. He hasn't got DRS, as so Jon Palainen and Jordi do. Jon Palainen goes to the outside. He's got the move done before the hairpin, and Jordi's going to try and follow through. Brakes as late as possible, and I think he's going to get the move done through this section. He's got it done already, so Jordi up to 10th, Jon Palainen 9th, Kieser losing 2 places in that, and I thought Jordi was going to have a go at Jon Palainen then.
We still have a battle between two maybe title contending racers, Jordi and Jon Palainen. Just seen from one of the corners earlier, Jordi nearly hit the back of Jon Palainen, but managed to keep on his toes and get his reactions right. And here comes another DRS zone. I don't think much is going to happen, but yeah, there goes Jon and just lining through that corner then into the next corner. I don't think much action is going to happen between them just for the moment.
There's not really enough of a braking zone into turn 1 to make a pass. You've pretty much got to rely on the driver in front making a mistake. I don't know whether Geordie is going to be close enough. I say he's close to on board. Round the outside, locks up. Jon still there. But Geordie's got the move done, so up to 6th place. He'll be absolutely ecstatic with how it's going, and he is now in 3rd position. The net 3rd after all the pit stops take place, of course. So pretty much looking like he'll get a podium at least. What will he be able to do? 16 seconds off the lead. He's about 6.5 seconds behind Hapari, who's the first of the runners to have pitted, as both Schumacher and Undefined come into the pits now. Their soft tyres have had enough. They've done well to get them to last that long. I expect them to go into the mediums, and only one more stop for both of them.
Down the list, I don't think much battles are happening, but except I think there's going to be a fight. Well, it may not be in the point zone, but there is a fight between Aaron and Hasney, just starting their 15th lap, coming around to the next corner. Aaron trying to go through the inside, just nearly contacting with Hasney, but managed to not touch him, and virtual safety car's out. Okay.
Yeah, virtual safety car because Slimbo has retired.
What happened to Slimbo?
So a nightmare for Slimbo. He's retired from the race. He started so well this season for him in Australia, but it's just not going his way from then. So this, I was going to say it'd be a great opportunity for people to pit. I feel like it's too early though for Stixel to dive into the pits and get onto the soft tyres. He won't be able to make them last till the end, but virtual safety car is out on lap 15 here of the German Grand Prix. It's back racing again, and Evan taking advantage of that straight past Hasdane. Hasdane caught napping a bit there, and Evan the opportunist up into 11th place. Will Pedro be able to follow as well? It's pretty difficult to pass through this section, but Evan taking full advantage of that ending. He's up to 11th on the edge of the point, and Pedro will now be hoping to make his way up the field as well.
Looking at Pedro, he might have advantage. He is getting all the DRS he could use, going around the next corner, and I think he's kind of gaining it. He's got the pace to make have another DRS. Could go on fuel. Could go for, he's going for DRS for. Could make a move in happen, maybe unlikely, may not decide to take that risk, and he doesn't have the pace. He's just trying to go around the inside, but Hasney just gets the speed, exits to just clinging on to 12th place, but here comes Pedro through the inside. Hasney braking a bit early. Pedro is through. Pedro is now through to 12th place, and I think next on his list to cross off is Eric.
Yeah, and he'll be determined to get past Evan after what happened earlier on when the two were fighting for the lead, of course. Just a few laps ago, Evan hit the back of Pedro. Renault got front wing damage, but didn't cost him too much as it was due to pit anyway. Slimbo's just said he can't seem to have a good race this season. But I think maybe we put the commentator's curse on him by saying that we expected him to do well this time out.
My mistake.
A battle out in front for 2nd place. Randy Thompson moves to the inside on his way to the hairpin. He's got fresher tyres and he should comfortably have that done. 2nd place now for Randy Thompson, as Kieser and Jon are battling out as well in the background. Going to be side by side nearly. Jon just has the advantage.
Oh my god, Aaron is... He's always pushing all the drivers off track. He's squashed with Slimbo, dude. I think in the 2nd or 1st lap. And then there was an incident between him and Pedro 3 laps back, which made Pedro go, well, where he is now. I think Aaron is becoming a bit of a reckless driver at the moment. Well, becoming a reckless driver in this race. He's kind of been hitting and squeezing everyone out of the track tonight, but let's hope he gets a bit more suitable and hopefully, you know, let people through.
Yeah, well, I'll have to see if anyone has something to say about that. Pedro's all over the back of Vicstar as well. As I mentioned this earlier, it's not easy to do it into turn one. We've just passed the halfway stage of this German Grand Prix. Hapari in the lead from Jompalainen. Sticksel yet to pit in third. A fantastic recovery from Geordie. He's already up to fourth. And then Jompalainen, Kieser, Schumacher, Undefined, Professional. And then this battle for the final point spot between Evan, Vicstar and Pedro.
Comes the hairpin. Nearly contact between Pedro and Vicstar, but Pedro still to play it safe with a bit of a gridlock there on his tyres. Here comes the next corner. Let's hope there'll be no accidents. Aaron, there's been some smoke coming from his tyres there, from that corner. Vicstar, I think he's slowing down a bit. He's kind of losing time on Aaron. He went from 500 to now 600, and maybe going down to, always gone down to 800. But on Pedro, he's improving his time, nearly hitting Vicstar there. Vicstar kind of maybe breaks a bit early, but he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, Pedro, you feel, has got to be patient. He looks to have the pace at this moment in the race. Both got like same age of tyres. But Pedro, whether he's just got the car set up better round here, he has improved as the season's gone on. He's tied for 5th place at the moment, and as long as he gets any points in this race, that 5th place will be his. Further up the field, Geordie has managed to get past Sticksel. You feel like the Sauber's tyres probably well past their best now. Geordie slowing down. Geordie's pulled off to the side of the road.
What the heck's going on?
Has something happened with Geordie? He's going to have to disconnect or what? He
hasn't DNF'd yet. He hasn't DNF'd. He's still driving. He's still racing. He's gone down 15th place. What the?
Clearly coming back up to 3rd place after 19 laps was too easy for him. He's going to try and do the same thing again in 15 laps.
Alright, that's quite weird to see. Kind of makes me think of me parking up in my driving lesson, but
I think we've all had it sometimes when racing, whether like something happens and it affects you and you just have to pull over, but he's done the right thing there to get off track, if that was the case, and just carry on and try not to let it affect him. We've seen Hapari and Kieser coming into the pits now, so that will be for their final pit stops. So that gives Randy Thompson the lead. And he's doing well in the McLaren. It's not been a great season for them. They're bottom of the constructors at the moment, but a decent points finish here would go a long way to helping that. And while we were focusing on Jordan... Oh, contact!
Oh my goodness me!
Hasdane came flying in.
I saw Vicstar going down a couple of pitches or something. There was like multiple places happening at the hairpin. I was like, what the heck's going on? And then I just see all this dust happening on Vicstar's point of view, and then seeing on Senna's point of view, there was like a lot of dust. I couldn't see anything what was going on, but it seems that Hasdane letting people through. It must have been his fault or something.
Yeah, I only caught the tail end of that incident. Hasdane seemed to dive down the inside into the hairpin. Came more out of nowhere than Randy Orton. Quite a lot of damage on his front wing. He's going to have to pit, but I think the closing speed's just caught him out there. He's generally done well this season, but it's just a slight mistake, and it's so easy to do into that hairpin, you know, especially with DRS and everything. Talking of DRS, Schumacher's just got himself into DRS zone on Jompalainen. Jompalainen going for 2 stops. Schumacher on a 1-stop strategy, so he's got the fresher rubber at the moment, so he must be looking good, you feel, for his first win of the season, following on from his first podium last time out in Britain. But yeah, going back to that Hasdane incident, I think with that many cars that close together, it was sort of inevitable there was going to be some contact eventually.
can we go on to Hipari Lake, because I just saw the most intense battle between him and the Mercedes driver and Senna. They were like side on side after the hairpin, going through one corner onto the other, and then Hipari he's about to go past Vixar right now, and still not giving up his position, and hoping not to get hit by Vixar, just, well, maybe begging mercy to not get hit by him, and has the ORS advantage as he ends lap 22, well, at lap 21 going to his second lap, and still trying to reach Vixar so he can make a move, maybe on this corner, maybe in the hairpin again like he did on Senna, but that was the most intense overtake stop between Hipari and Senna I ever seen in F1 esports or AOR or anything.
Yeah, we've seen quite a lot of good battles, but this seems pretty straightforward now for Hipari. He has the inside line. Should be 5th place pretty contact behind!
No! Oh dear me!
Senna's got it wrong, and that's Vixar backwards, so another one of the championship contenders having a bad start. We said it was all going well for Geordie, it just seems to all come together for Jon Palainen. I mean, Geordie is back up to 7th after the pit stops already.
That's another situation that he's been in. That was the one from earlier he was a part of, well, Hipari was a part of that, well, Vixar was in the scene of. And now that's another one, but he was the victim in that one. That's actually quite shocking. This is not going to be a good race for Vixar. This could dent his his championship title, as maybe Geordie could take over, but Jon Palainen is hopefully makes another stop soon.
Yeah, Jon Palainen, he started on the Ultrasoft, so you'd expect him to have had to pit earlier, but his tyres are only 2 laps older than Geordie, so will he be able to stretch him out to the end? I know, speaking to some people from other leagues, they expected that if you went from the Ultrasoft and the medium, you would be a big risk of a puncture towards the end of the race, so be interested to see how it's going. We can't tell the tyre wear of the drivers, of course, but we've seen Jon Palainen do well with tyre management earlier on the season, and if he's wanted to go to the end of the race, he's definitely going to have to today.
Well, like I say, a little. Oh my goodness me! There's been a spin on the Force India there. But managing to. Well, I think Schnitzel's about to make a move, and there he goes. Yeah,
Ibrahim nearly collecting Geordie there in his first race.
But as I was saying, if Jon Palainen and Geordie trying to take a risk to take these tyres all the way to the end with 11 laps to go, may I just say the honest and be careful, because I remember doing this risk one time and I ended up having flat tyres on the last lap ruining my whole race. So this could be a bit of a risk they're taking, but yeah, they're on mediums.
Jon Palainen definitely taking it careful, not even defending from Schumacher as the Mercedes takes the lead. So 2 Mercedes in the top 5 so far. Hipari, he's in 5th place, and he's the leader of those who have done 2 stops so far. So it's Schumacher, Jon Palainen, undefined, Pedro, Hipari, with Randy Thompson, Geordie, Schnitzel, Ibrahim and Vixar rounding out the points. But we've seen quite a lot of incidents, and it's going to be a busy week for the stewards afterwards if every single tier has been like this today.
A lot of contact happening, especially I think from Aaron a couple of times, having contact with Slimbo Dude in the first 2-3 laps, and also having contact with Pedro before he kind of took the pit stop. But Aaron has gone down to 12th place, and Pedro's gone up 4th place, so I think we won't see much battles between them for now, unless Pedro makes another stop.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect him to do so on the medium tyres. Undefined now. He's perhaps sensing a weakness in Jon Palainen. He's looking to close up and get into 2nd place. And Pedro, he's just 5 seconds off the lead as well. He has pretty fresh medium tyres. We see a new fastest lap from Senna. He's in last place at the moment, but he's definitely still pushing to do well in his first race. His teammate Pedro was mentioned in fourth place, involved in contact with Aaron earlier. How this race could have been so different for the Spaniard in the Red Bull if he hadn't been spun around. Ripari there getting a penalty for multiple warnings. They, as we've seen many times this season, the order across the finishing line can be quite different to the provisional standings after all the penalties have been taken into account.
Being undefined, he could make a move soon. He has, well, he has, as you can see in the tyre wears, he has a bit more advantage than Jon Palainen. DRS enabled, plenty of ERS energy to use, so he's up to, well, second highest, and he's gone down to 0 because he's hitting this corner. He could make a move anytime soon, maybe taking his time, but he might have to make it soon, as Pedro may be on the back of him, as he is kind of on the same kind of tyre wear as he is, just like that. But they still could, Pedro could still catch up to Undefined if he does make a move soon.
Yeah, I think what's making it quite difficult for Undefined at the moment is that Jon Palainen seems to be just about hanging on to Schumacher and staying within the DRS zone, going onto the long main straight. So I think as soon as Schumacher manages to get more than a second ahead of Jon Palainen, expect Undefined to be a lot more aggressive in his attempt to get past what, as it stands, would be the provisional championship leader going into the next race, which will be next weekend at the Hungaroring for round 12. Got many more races up and coming. Right until the end of the season, we're only going to have one more break, which will be in the middle of February, just to split the season up into two halves, and Undefined again getting close to the back of Jon Palainen, but just not close enough to have a go into the hairpin.
We also have a two-car battle for 10th place between Victor, Keyser and Aaron. Very, very close. Aaron has just caught up to Keyser and Victor by now, and Keyser's making move! Contact! Another contact at the hairpin for Victor. This is... I think Victor's getting bullied here at the hairpin every time he goes on that corner. But Aaron seems to make more progress after he made a pit stop, and he's gone up to 12th place. Could be making a move on Keyser and maybe Victor soon, and that could happen maybe lap 30, lap 29, but could happen anytime. Could be this corner, could be the next corner. But Aaron could hope for points tonight.
Yeah, I feel no harm really done there as Victor gets quite sideways coming out of the penultimate corner, as Aaron seems to have a fantastic run on Keyser. He's going to have a go into turn one. I mentioned it's very difficult to overtake into there, but he's managed to do it. So Aaron up to 11th. Feel like at this late stage, be surprised to see Jon Palainen and Jordi pitting unless the tyre wear gets absolutely critical in the final stages. So that's the main battles now, are between the top three for the lead and between these for the final points position. It could have some big say on the championship at the end of the season. On lap 28, Schumacher leading, Jon Palainen and Undefined in the final two podium spots. Pedro for Hipari leading the two stoppers in fifth. It'll be hard to see him coming through the field even though he's on fresher tyres now. Randy Thompson sixth. Jordi's recovered from a qualifying ban and some problem from the start, from the middle of the race. We don't quite know what that was, but he's in seventh. And then Schnitzel Ibrahim in his first race of the season, and Victor rounding out the points.
Undefined getting closer and closer to Jon Palainen, as Jon Palainen, I think, since starting his, as you can see from tyres, 21 laps old. I think Jon Palainen is going to start to struggle. I notice a lot of wear happening on his tyres soon. I don't think he's going to have a pit since it's now lap 29 or 34. And there's only, well, there's only 6 laps. I don't think Jon Palainen is going to be taking another pit stop, which a big risk, like I said earlier. And I think Joaquin Jordi is not going to take a pit stop as well, which also for him another risk as well.
Yeah, I'd expect a pit stop now, probably to drop Jompalainen, perhaps into around where the Vicstar Evan Kieser battle is. So it's probably just worth trying to hang on as much as possible. You know, the top 10 separated by just 20 seconds. So it's not really worth him going for the pits. He's just going to have to risk it now.
Well, I think what Jompalainen's trying to do is not going to take another stop. I think it's just because he wants to stay as high as possible on those tyres, but stay steady as well. As he is also one of the top 3 drivers for the championship title. And if Jompalainen is lucky enough to stay second, he might be able to get the second podium and at the same time overtake Vicstar and Geordie in the championship.
Yeah, as it stands at the moment, with the drivers in the positions that we are, as Evan has actually got past Vicstar, and over two have swapped back again, so if Vicstar did remain in 10th place, Jompalainen would currently move, he'd be 17 points ahead of Vicstar, and with Geordie in 7th place, Jompalainen would then be 12 points ahead of him, so it would still be extremely close going into the final 10 races.
I don't think Vicstar has any more things to do now as Aaron has now overtook him. I think he's struggling, especially with his tyres being 16 laps old and Van Aaron being 8 laps old. I think he's running out of ideas to go 10th place high, 1 place high to get 1 point. But I think Vicstar's title could be at risk if he gets no points tonight.
This is the closest I've seen Undefined get to Jompalainen for a while. Is he going to go for a late lunch? No. And I must admit, Schumacher's not pulling away as much as I thought he would be, whether he's just taking it easy or whether he's actually struggling as well. Just 3.5 laps to go now, but I was expecting him to fly past Jompalainen and build up quite a gap, but he's not been able to do so.
I'm seeing on my screen, because I don't know if I have bad internet or not, I see a little low internet indicator, aka to the barrier's alien indicator there, which I don't think is going to affect his race, but it could affect some distance for him. But I don't think it was affecting his pace at the moment.
No, so these three, you can imagine, have podium places covered barring penalties. We've seen a few come up across the screen there as Undefined's getting very close now. Feel he's beginning to get a bit desperate. I had a race with Undefined earlier on in the week and I was definitely not the challenge that Jompalainen is proving to be. Is he going for it? He's gone for it, but can't be inside. Very late move. They're going to be side by side. Jompalainen's going to have
don't do anything
inside into the next braking zone, so he should.
Oh no! What a defense!
Should just stay ahead, but
Jompalainen.
He's got more to defend there, but this is just allowing Pedro to catch up as well. So this could be a breather from Jompalainen, because Undefined soon going to have to think about defending as well.
What a defense! That was an amazing defense there for Jompalainen. Undefined just tasting second, just for a little while, but then Jompalainen with an excellent defense, taking back second place, just like taking, well, not really taking Candy Cover Bay, because Undefined is still right behind him.
Yeah, so Pedro running wide in the background, he sniffs a chance at a possible podium. He get a possible podium, even second place, so he's run very wide there, as I say that. I think just outbraked himself. Undefined, every lap he seems to be getting closer, and Jompalainen's having to go defensive early on, so this time Undefined's going to have the outside into the hairpin. And Jompalainen, as they hold him off again, I'm not sure this time.
Oh my god!
It's roles reversed from last lap.
Someone get the teacher and split these guys up. Oh, he's got it that time. Oh dear me.
Walls reversed from the lap
finally
before.
gets second place.
So undefined up to second, Jompalainen third. Will he be able to stay there? Further back, Geordie, he's got a 4.5 second lead over Stickshall, and he's 2.5 seconds behind Randy Thompson, so he should be pretty safe on his worn tyres in 7th place, barring any punctures. We saw a crazy last lap in Silverstone. Will we get that same crazy last lap here in Germany? Schumacher 1.7 seconds ahead. Undefined, pulling away now. Pedro's
caught up
over the back of Jompalainen.
Could he make a move as well? Could Jompalainen lose 2 places?
Jompalainen's got DRS, but so is he going to have a go on Undefined as well? Will Pedro be able to take both of them? It's going to be very close. Pedro going for the outside. Not able to do it.
Happening. Oh no, I think he's going to try. He's not going to give up. He's going to stay behind Jompalainen. He's still trying to take it. Oh, nearly. Oh my goodness me, nearly hitting the back of Jompalainen. Luckily, he loses control there. I think it's these tyres. His tyres are 20 laps old as well. These old tyres are crazy.
Yeah, I think that was the last opportunity, perhaps. But out in front, he's had a very consistent season. He got his first podium out in Silverstone. So Schumacher crosses the line to take the win on track. We'll see if there's any penalties to be applied. Undefined has quite a lot of penalties there. So Jompalainen's got second. As it stands, Hipari climbs to 4th. So Undefined 3rd, Pedro in 5th. Randy Thompson 6th, Joaquin Geordie 7th. Good recovery from him. 8th is Stickshall.
Oh.
And Evan 9th, and Big Star taking the final
Ibrahim's
point.
going down. Ibrahim's out of the points. He finished 8th place or 9th place, and he's gone down to 12th place with all those penalties he have.
So yeah, I'm not surprised there were loads of penalties in what was a crazy race, but sort of phrase that was uttered many times years ago. Fantastic drive by Schumacher. It's a win at the German Grand Prix. The 5th different winner this season, and he'll be delighted with that performance. 11 points finishes in a row, 2nd podium in a row. Perhaps too far for a championship challenge, but we've seen today that pretty much anything can happen in AOR racing. These provisional results coming up on the screen shortly. I emphasise the word provisional.
Penalty from Ibrahim. A 12-second penalty from Ibrahim, which is, I think he has most penalties, and all the others have about 6 seconds and 9 seconds. Schumacher having the cleanest race with no penalties, which is amazing to see. At least someone's been clean. Also, Hasnain is clean as well with no penalties as well.
Yes.
So all, it's been quite a clean race for, well, only 2 drivers.
They did well to stay clean, so Schumacher taking the win from 11th on the grid, making best use of the free choice of tyres. Jompalainen in 2nd, Undefined and Hipari rounding out 3 Finns in the top 4, Pedro 5th, Randy Thompson 6th, Geordie recovering to 7th, and then Stickshall, Evan and Vicstar rounding out the points. Kieser just dropping to 11th, Ibrahim, as Alex mentioned, loads of penalties costing him points on his debut in the Force India. Hasnain 13th. Not a great race for him. Professional in 14th. Breezy carrying on to 15th. Senna setting the fastest lap but finishing down in last place. And then Slimbo and Canal Yander, the only 2 retirements. So that was definitely a fascinating race. Perhaps some of the drivers a bit rusty in race combat after 3 weeks off. But a fantastic drive, I must say, by Schumacher. He did well there starting on the soft tyres, and Jompalainen as well to make those mediums last a long way. I wasn't sure if anyone would be able to do it, but he proved it was possible.
Well, I think to me this race has been, well, if any of the viewers have seen this cartoon before, I think it's been another episode of Wacky Races. because I've seen loads of contact, loads of moves happening, uh, and I predicted a driver to have a good race, but he ended up DNFing, and loads and loads of drivers having penalties from multiple warnings, contacts, corner cuts, etc. And all in all, I think it has been an episode of wacky races.
We just need Dick Dastardly to show up. Can't imagine the next race being quite as crazy around the Hungaroring. It's not known for its overtaking manoeuvres, but we've seen today these drivers are very opportunistic. They will take any little chance they get. So we will see you next time around at the Hungaroring. Will we see another new winner as we have done today? Will Geordie and Vicstar be able to get their championships back on track after finishing in the lower reaches of the points, or will Jon Palainen extend his points lead? So it's goodbye from Alex.
Goodbye, Alex.
And it's goodbye from me. Hopefully we'll see you next time around.